guys to FireX Talks. I'm your host, Fire Wade.
And I'm your co-host, Cameron X. By the way, guys, if you hear clicking, sorry. I don't know what happened to my mic. It kind of just died, apparently. And it's the
Y-
best I could get it up to right now.
yeah, eh, well, he'll keep working on it. Okay, first of all, before we dive into the news articles that
The
we have
reason
right
we were
now,
gone for what was it, a month?
about a month.
Yeah, the reason we are gone for a month is because first, my old PC got broken. So, I had to get a new one so I wasn't able to join. Even though, Adam's the host, but I had apparently, I don't know, Adam can say his reason.
Um, one, I've been busy with school, and two, that that last live stream that I did, I literally went into live stream depression after that. I'm telling you, I have literally not felt that bad about a live stream before. I mean, holy hell. I went muted half the freaking time. So, sorry about that. But also, what we wanted to talk about is our icons and stuff have been updated
Yeah,
because
that's why you see the thumbnail is different than the last two videos.
yeah, and also we're going back to using intros and outros now. It's just something that we agreed to go back to.
Yeah, sorry for the confusion, because there was no intro for the second one. It's just, I don't know, we're changing our channels.
And, and once we get some rhythm with this channel, we might actually update to an actual outro, but we're going to have like intros like alternating for this.
Yeah,
So
guys.
please
So
bear with us.
that's basically the information. Now, our first news story is from The Guardian. And entire towns in Mexico flattened as the scale of earthquake damage emerges. My bad. Thousands left home Thousands of left homeless in towns and communities outside Mexico City as official rescue and relief efforts struggle to cope with the widespread destruction.
Yeah,
Basically, guys, if you don't know, a huge earthquake a couple days ago hit Mexico. So, we're praying for Mexico, praying
yeah,
for all
and
the
the
lives
death
lost.
total has climbed to 250.
Well, now it's the death toll from Tuesday's 7.1 magnitude quake rose to 282.
282 so far now.
Yes.
Okay, and that's including at least 137 in the capital, which is Mexico City. Yes, I remember that
Yeah.
from history. Well, history and geography. Go me. There. Um, let's see. Which Mexico City was part of a drained lake bed where and was devastated in the.
Quake which struck 32 years to the day after the country's deadliest earthquake killed thousands and laid waste to the capital. But
Sorry, that
details,
was worded weird for me.
but the details of the destruction outside the capital are only now starting to emerge. So, it took out entire towns and flattened a bunch of towns. Well, I'm sorry, I'm
Buildings.
messing up my words. Yeah, and it left a couple thousand people homeless. It's not good.
Yeah, and like one of our other articles, America's been hit hard as well as a couple of other countries with hurricanes and stuff. So,
Yeah, Mexico was hit with a hurricane. Houston, Texas, Florida. Yeah,
Um,
all that was.
Cuba was like bombarded straight, right?
Yeah, so was Puerto Rico, but we're gonna go into that next. So, oh no, I'm looking at the article right now.
Yeah, just trying to.
The
Okay.
office of President Enrique, I'm not gonna try and pronounce the last names because I don't know how to pronounce it. Said there are 73 deaths in Morelos State, I think, 43 in Puebla, 13 in the state of Mexico, 6 in Guerrero, I think, and 1 in Oaxaca. I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrong, okay? In Puebla State, authorities have declared a state of an extraordinary emergency in 102 municipalities, I think, equivalent to 51% of the region, which is quite a lot. At least 1,700 homes have been declared uninhabitable and will be demolished, or at least should be demolished. And and the numbers could well rise after experts finish more inspections.
Mm, calls for urgent help and supplies in towns and communities outside the capital continue to be posted on social media networks as official rescue and relief efforts struggle to cope with the widespread destruction. Hopes that survivors could still be found are boosted by around the clock coverage of the Navy led search for a 12-year-old girl believed to be trapped under a collapsed school in the south of Mexico City.
So yeah, basically the earthquake has taken down a bunch of buildings, and it caused like a couple explosions. You can, if you look hard enough, you might be able to find them. I don't know. I haven't looked for them. But yeah, it's been quite causing quite a lot of catastrophes, and hopefully, a lot of people survived. Unfortunately, a lot of people died. Hopefully, we can increase our standards to make buildings better for earthquakes.
Yeah.
Want to go to the next article?
Yeah, let's go ahead and move on to our next article.
Okay, our next article is from the NBC News. Hurricane Maria leaves Puerto Rico facing months without power. Also, guys, if you want to see these articles for yourselves, they're going to be in the description. There are going to be links in the description, okay? So you can go down there and check them out for yourself because we didn't talk about everything in every article.
Yeah.
But basically, millions of people across Puerto Rico woke up Thursday to a new reality. Hurricane Maria, the most powerful storm to hit the U.S. territory in almost a century, destroyed basically everything, and it knocked out all electricity. It could take half a year, 6 months, to restore power to the nearly 3.5 million people who live there. So, yeah, Puerto Rico's not in a very good condition after the hurricanes, as we were just talking about. But we were excited talking about Puerto Rico, but now we are.
Yeah, alright, so the eye of the storm moved offshore overnight, but the danger remained Thursday. Intense flooding was reported, particularly in San
Juan, I
Juan.
think.
Um,
Or
sorry
many
if we
residential
butcher these names again.
or many residential streets look like rushing rivers. So yeah, normally in hurricanes there's gonna be a lot of flooding. So I pray for everyone there because it's gonna kill a couple people. Like the storm has been blamed for the deaths of 18 people. But if you see any charities, you should donate to. Well, not any charity because they could be scamish. But if you see like a legit charity, trying to get money for the people, you might want to donate. Depends though, because you might not have enough money or just I don't know. People have their reasons. Like I don't have enough money to donate. I mean I have money, but I don't really have a PayPal.
Well, you see, I have a PayPal, but not money. Ah! Okay, so the
But
storm has been blamed for the deaths of 18 people, including two in Puerto Rico. But many fear that the toll could climb as authorities were beginning to assess the extent of the damage and search for survivors.
San Juan's mayor, Carmen Yulín Cruz, said the devastation in the capital city was unlike anything she has ever seen. I mean, it basically ravaged the island, really messed a lot of things up. Wait, where? Oh yeah, it was Maria. Because, I was thinking of Irma, because Irma, like, took out a bunch of, but this is not a good time for Puerto Rico. Let's just say that.
Yeah, wasn't it Irma? I think it was Irma that came up Florida as well and
Yeah. Oh yeah, Adam
grazed.
was in it.
Yeah, I got grazed. I basically got the wind
Weekend was
off
sick.
of it. They actually said that it might have the rain might have flooded lower elevations, but luckily all I got was wind, so it probably is worse near the coast of Carolina though.
Yeah, because, you live in the Carolinas.
Yeah, but I
So,
live
he kind of
further
got like
inland.
the disintegrating part of the hurricane when it was disintegrating.
Right.
So, Jennifer Alvarez Giant, I don't know how to say that. Governor Ricardo Rossello's press secretary said all power across the island has been knocked out. So, that's not a good thing, because, like, imagine you having no power for 6 months. I personally do not think I would survive.
Uh, I wouldn't be able to survive because 6 months without power means if you have an electric water heater, you ain't getting hot water. Plus, a lot of well, if you're in the more torn up parts, I guess you're most of your electronics are gone, completely destroyed, or waterlogged by now.
So the storm, with its fierce winds, heavy rain, it toppled trees, shattered windows, and basically destroyed everything. And it blocked all the main highways, and it brought, destroyed a bunch of streets across the island. And basically a bunch of people, Gregorio Cortez, 39, a doctor in Vistamar Marina, a community in Carolina, Puerto Rico, says several highways are impassable, which means, a bunch of highways are, destroyed by the water. But yeah, I think a bunch of people are probably gonna get messed up by that.
Yeah.
You don't have anything to say?
Alright, here's a little tidbit that I've found. Cell phone communication was completely down from Thursday morning until around 4 p.m., which left a lot of people in panic mode.
Because, they can't call their families, and basically, if you have family elsewhere and they're, all sad and panicked because, you're going through the hurricane and they can't call you, honestly, probably their first thoughts are gonna be the worst thoughts most of the
Yeah,
time. Like, you could have died, you could have been flooded. Well, you most likely were flooded if you were in Puerto Rico. A lot of the island was pretty much flooded.
alright. I'm gonna scroll down a little bit more in the article, see if I can find anything else of note. If I can't, then we might be moving on.
Uh, Cortez added that he lived through several previous hurricanes on the island, but has never experienced one like this. He's been in Hugo, he's been in Georges, and he says this was the worst. I've never been in a war zone, but what you see in movies is not like that, he added. San Juan resident Heidi Roque, I think, I don't know. Roque, I don't know. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. 21 told NBC her home was left with shattered windows, damaged fences, and broken doors. She was worried about her grandmother, who lives alone in the town of Trujillo Alto, because she has no power or water, and her family hasn't heard from her since early Wednesday. You have anything to add?
Not from my point of view. You think we should move on to our last article?
Yeah. I'm sorry if these articles are, well, us reading the articles are super awkward. I'm not, like, used to talking like this, reading stuff. Oh, I mean, I am in, you know, high school because, you know, we have to read books, but, you know.
Yeah, I do like a lot of speaking out loud because I actually am in a couple of business courses, so I have to get up and do presentations. So
I
I
was assigned to a couple business courses until, you know, I kind of moved out here.
yeah, but it's still kind of awkward because it it takes us a while to like read what we're actually seeing and then like translate it in our minds to like tell y'all. So
Yeah.
bear with us until we get like a good routine down.
So, for our final article this week, alarm as super malaria spreads in Southeast Asia.
Brought to us by BBC.
Yep, I'm sorry I forgot about that. But the rapid threat of super malaria in Southeast Asia is an alarming global threat, scientists are warning. This dangerous form of the malaria parasite cannot be killed with the main anti-malaria drugs. It emerged in Cambodia, but has spread through parts of Thailand, Laos, and southern Vietnam. So basically, it's like a super malaria. You know, the name speaks for itself.
Yeah, that's like a very bad disease from what I've heard.
Yeah, because it's like in Central America, and I forgot the statistics, but it like kills a bunch of people. Like it kills a certain percentage of whom it affects.
I think it's like only. Is it only
And the worst
spread
part
by
of it,
blood?
and one of the worst parts of it is it's mainly spread by mosquitoes, and you know how common mosquitoes are in those areas.
Yeah, even here in Carolina, I am like super like aware of like mosquitoes. So as soon as one lands on me, I usually kill it. I don't give it a chance to bite.
But still, I don't think the U.S., well, the South, maybe Texas, but you know the upper South near
Near where I'm
Virginia.
out should be fine, but
Yeah,
it's still just to be safe than
safe because you don't
sorry.
know what they have.
Those
'Cause, you know,
little buggers are monsters.
yeah, they're one of the. I think they're actually the deadliest animal in the world.
Yeah, they're known to spread a lot more diseases than any other animal that I've heard of. Well, bug or animal.
So basically, um, the team at Oxford Tropical Medicine Research Unit in Bangkok said there was a real danger of malaria being untreatable, which you know is a bad thing because if malaria is untreatable, then you know you're gonna be either stuck with it for the rest of your life. Sorry about that, guys. Someone's in my house. My friend's here. So I'm gonna go close my door and then I'll be right back.
Sorry about that, guys.
Okay, guys, I'm back. Where was I at last?
Last I heard was Oxford Tropical Medical Research Unit.
Oh yeah. So Professor Arjen Dondorf, I'm sorry, the head of the unit, told the BBC News website, "We think it is a serious threat. I mean, it probably is. It is alarming that this strain is spreading so quickly through a whole region we can fear can spread further and eventually jump to Africa." Which would be a really bad thing, because, Africa is has quite a few bad
The
virus strains and
diseases,
disease.
yeah.
Like
Eh,
Ebola.
yeah,
That's one of them.
when a disease hits like Africa, it normally like flares up like a hot cake cell, man.
So, failing treatments. In a letter published by the Lancet Infectious Diseases, the researchers detail the recent sinister development that has seen resistance to the drug Art Artemis. I don't know how to read that. I'm allergic.
Artem.
Is in
I'm just not even going to attempt that.
About 212 million people are infected with malaria each year. It is caused by a parasite that is spread by blood-sucking mosquitoes and is a major killer of children, like we said before.
212 million each year. Holy moly. I knew it was like a very bad disease, but that is a lot of cases every year.
Yeah, it's bad. The first choice of treatment for malaria is that evil word in combination with another evil word. I mean, they're not evil, but I
Uh,
can't.
we're not medical. We're not medically inclined with the medical terms of like
This, because I
these
can't read it.
names.
So, you can,
For all
go
we
to.
know, that this could be like a normal, like everyday um
Medicine.
medicine that we know the name to. It's just we don't know the medical term for it.
But as artemisinin has become less effective, the parasite has now evolved to resist hyperaquine too. I'm sorry if I messed that up. Don't hurt me, please.
I need to go and start making bloopers again.
Not right now. There have
We-
now been
We're gonna
alarming
add
rates.
that in the bloopers.
Oh, or you should just have a funny moments then.
Yeah.
Have now been alarming rates of failure, the letter says. Professor Dondorp said the treatment was failing around a third of the time in Vietnam, while some regions of Cambodia the failure rate was closer to 60%. That's a lot.
Holy Jesus.
Resistance to the drugs would be catastrophic in Africa, where 92% of all malaria cases happen. So I thought
Holy.
it was bad in Central and South America, but it's really bad in Africa.
Yeah, like I said, a very infectious disease gets to Africa, it will spread like a wildfire. Because it really, from what I understand, there ain't really that much health care over there. And there's a lot of rural areas out there where you probably don't have like some of the drugs that you would need to combat these diseases on hand.
Against the clock. There is a push to eliminate malaria in the greater Mekong subregion before it is too late. Professor Dom Dorbat, it's a race against the clock. We have to eliminate it before malaria becomes untreatable again and we see a lot of deaths. Well, more deaths than, there already are. If I'm honest, I'm quite worried. Well, I'd be pretty worried too if, there was about to be a super disease that could, fuck up everything. Michael Chu from the Wellcome Trust medical research charity said the spread of this malaria superbug strain resistant to the most effective drug we have is alarming and major implications for for public health globally. Around 700,000 people a year die from drug-resistant infections, including malaria. If nothing is done, this could increase to millions of people every year by 2050, which is, pretty fucking bad, if I do say so myself.
Yeah. I mean, that by 2050 we should be able to
By 2050,
understand the super strain better and hopefully get a more viable like res- drug for this.
but if we can't, it could increase to millions of people every year, which is, not the greatest thing you'd want. But, guys, that was the last article. I hope you enjoyed our video. I'm sorry we fucked up so many words. And I will see you next time. This is your co-host, KRNX, and
Fireweight, and we're gone, guys. Bye.